How serious is this going to be?
Well, we are under an unprecedented degree of pressure for this time of year. And what we're experiencing is very, very high levels of volume of people coming into accident emergency departments. We know we've got the ambulance services under real pressure. But wherever you look, Trevor, right the way across the NHS, be it in community services, be it in mental health services, be it in hospitals, the NHS is under an unprecedented degree of pressure for this time of year. And of course, that's before the traditional winter peak. We know that the NHS tends to feel most pressure in early to mid-January.
The immediate pressures on the NHS are still with us. With many wards already full, health unions say staff are complaining of feeling exhausted by this second wave. The Department of Health says it is committed to giving the NHS in England the resources it needs.
NHS paramedics telling Sky News they fear they are failing patients as the pressures of the winter months strain NHS services.
It's our second morning at West Suffolk Hospital. It's just past 9:30 and already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ambulances. I can hear another one on the way. It gives you an idea of the fact no matter how hard this hospital works and the ambulance crews, the pressure and the demand just keeps on coming.
Obviously, we hear these stories about the NHS and people who are working in it are regularly saying it is at critical breaking point.
Under pressure already.
Is your pain okay at the minute?
Everyone expected a tough winter for the NHS, but figures show this year symptoms of real strain were showing in September.
We're already getting alerts to say that hospitals are full and can't cope. If you throw in a flu epidemic as well, those patients who are very at risk of complications, like people with heart disease or lung disease, are going to fill up even more beds in those hospitals and put those hospitals under even more pressure.
West Midlands has admitted to ITV News that she doesn't know how her ambulance service will cope with the current level of demand. The service itself says the number of calls it took over the weekend was on a scale normally reserved for a busy New Year's Eve. That's around 150 an hour. In the first of a series of reports on the NHS under pressure this winter, an ITV camera rode with one ambulance crew in Birmingham.
A combination of the cold weather, unnecessary call-outs, plus alcohol-related injuries during the Christmas party season has created the perfect storm. In fact, the only other time they've been this busy here is on New Year's Eve, and they expect things to get even worse next weekend.
Publishes an annual hospital guide rating the best and worst performance of NHS hospitals in England. It's underpinned by official NHS data, so people take it seriously. This year it's raising a major concern that hospitals in England are really under pressure to the extent that patient safety could be at risk.
To help you get better more quickly, rest and sleep. Keep warm. Take paracetamol or ibuprofen to lower your temperature and treat aches and pains.
Alexa, the smart speaker with all the answers. Now she can give health information from the NHS, bona fide advice approved by medical experts. In a new partnership with Amazon, the government says if patients use it, it could alleviate pressure on doctors.
Alexa, what are the symptoms of chickenpox?
According to the NHS website, chickenpox starts with red spots.
Now it's a trusted source of information. The government is encouraging us to use it.
Alexa, what's the weather like tomorrow?
Right or wrong, the future for Alexa looks like it will be to help those under the weather, as well as those wanting the weather. Emily Morgan, News at 10.